Hello, everyone. My name is Bernard Sim, and I'm a writer for Out Magazine. Today, I'll be speaking with the lovely Priyanka about her new rom-com movie. It's all sunshine and rainbows. So let's get started. Priyanka, has it always been a dream of yours to do a rom-com?
Okay, first of all, do you miss me? Like, what kind of like you?
Uh, if I miss you, of course I miss you.
Really?
Yeah, I love talking to you.
That should have
It's
been in
always
your
fun.
intro. You'd be like, my name is Priyanka. I miss her dearly. I'm obsessed with her.
I am obsessed with you.
Good. Just making sure. I like all these out covers behind you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
And
lovely, right?
mine.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Next year when my album comes out. I
Yeah.
heard.
So has it always been a dream of yours to like star in a rom-com movie?
Like, honestly, no, because I never thought it was gonna be possible. Like, I didn't think that it was actually ever gonna be a thing. And then got a call from my agent with the audition for the film, I was like, a lead in a rom-com? Like, what the fuck what's it gonna be like? And I auditioned, got the role, and I was like, holy shit. I manifested wanting to be do more acting roles because I truly believe that the more acting roles that queer people get in drag, as trans people, out of drag, whatever form they're in, is a
Mhm,
is a way for society to start to accept us more and more and more, you know? It's
mhm,
like a way to see us in all the regular, it's like Barbie with the trans character and like all these really cool integrations of us, of what the world actually looks like, not just through one conservative lens, you know? So it has always been a dream of mine, but I never thought I would ever be able to even voice it because I didn't know it was possible. So yes.
yeah. So tell us how you first got approached to do this movie.
So it was an audition. It was they asked me to do an audition for this role that they posted, and I filmed the audition in this room, and I was acting, bitch. I was like, I think I love you. And then some weeks went by, and then they told me I got the role, and it was really cool that Kyle and Lauren, they created the film, that they wrote a role for a drag queen to be the lead in this film, and I love that I got it the old school way. I had to audition and do the thing and get on the ground and really like work, because like it could have easily been like, you want Drag Race, like come do this to do the film, but it was really cool to like have my skills and chops be tested, because like I feel like as a performer that's how you get better, and also how helps you understand how bad you want things.
Yeah, yeah, you earned it, damn it. Like you earned the self-tape, you submitted it, and you earned it.
Uh-huh.
Um, in the movie, you play a weather girl named Melanie Sunshine. Is it fair to say that you were living your full weather girl fantasy in this role?
Oh yeah, baby. I mean, I remember volunteering at local TV stations when I was 14, trying to make it as a big star one day. So shooting those scenes and being like, oh, this is feels like I'm back in high school trying to be a TV star. I was living the full fantasy. Also, I feel like as kids, we often are like, I wonder what it'd be like to be a weather girl, because you get to point at all the fun things that you.
Right.
But yeah, I loved it. I also like love playing that character too, because like she's so unhinged. Like she's basically just like me, like fully unhinged. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And prior to Drag Race, you had experience working as a TV host on for a kids show. Did you
Yes.
bring any of that experience to this character?
Yes and no, because like when you act on camera, you have to like make everything a little smaller so that it comes across bigger on screen. And that was my
Hmm.
my, my challenge, because I'm so like loud and abrupt all the time. They're like, okay, like now like smaller and like really sell it, just like you're talking to a friend. So I feel like it was a very challenging experience for me to be like, because when I was hosting kids TV, we were like screaming all the time. But this was a whole other experience to like really challenge yourself and take direction and like, whoa, mama. But I did it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's you are so funny in the movie. The movie is
Thank
really, really
you.
cool and cute. And this movie also features great cameos from Sherry Vine and Jackie Beats. They're in their full Dr. Jackie
My
personas.
therapist. Yes.
And was this your first time working with those two drag legends, or have you worked with them before?
I've never worked with them before, but I also never got to actually talk to them. They were not on the screen. I was staring at
Right,
them.
right.
So I love that we now have this scene together, but have never ever spoken to each other. That's Hollywood. That's
That
Hollywood.
is Hollywood. That's TV magic and movie magic
Uh-huh.
for you. Your character is then brought back to the farm life to run her family's wedding business. In real life, are you a fan of attending weddings?
Oh my God. Yeah, as a kid, like we would be at a wedding every single weekend. It was like always a
Wow.
thing. So I think like I think weddings, it's so funny because like when you're before I came out of the closet, I like had a love for what weddings. When I came out of the closet and saw how much harder it is for queer people to get married and stuff, I was like, I kind of hate this.
Yeah.
But I love that we take it and turn it on its head, and at the, in the final scene it's like a lesbian couple because it's like it's just small little hints of inclusion to it which I think are so important.
And LGBTQ weddings are always more fun. I'm sorry
They're
to
always
say
the
people.
best. I've performed
Yeah.
at so many of them and they're so fun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Without giving away too many spoilers, the character of Nick Rainbow doesn't make things easy for your character in the
No,
movie. How was it like to film these scenes on set?
I love it. It really like reminded me of all of my past toxic relationships where like I never felt like I was doing enough or like I'm doing something, excited to like show off a dress and then the guy's like, what the fuck is that? It really captured what being in a queer relationship is like and how we only see these like toxic relationships that we tend to mimic. And it was really, really fun for Curtis and I to play these scenes together because we both are related. Like he's had like girls that have been shit to him. I've had guys that have been shit to me, and like it made for a really funny take on what has gone on in our real lives.
Yeah, I can see that, and those scenes are really, really funny and hilarious.
Uh-huh.
You guys have awesome chemistry on screen. Even though you're enemies. Priyanka as a drag performer is full of confidence. You mentioned that you also think Melanie is as unhinged as Priyanka, but I would argue that I feel like Melanie is a little bit less confident than Priyanka.
Right.
The character is, she's a little softer, more low key perhaps, and not as certain of herself. How did you tackle playing a character like that? Because you are so confident and, you know, out there.
I mean, I think that although very confident and although I really believe in myself, it always comes with like a side of insecurity. Like, and it's not like debilitating insecurity where like, oh, I can't do this, but like we always have imposter syndrome that like comes into our head and fights us all the time. I mean, now I feel like I'm very focused. I'm like, I don't give a shit about you, imposter syndrome, go away. Um, I think like I've been that character before where it was just years ago where I wasn't that confident in myself and where I didn't think I deserved love and where I didn't think I deserved all these kind of things and I relate to her because like things happen to you and your entire life does turn upside down where you're like, oh shit, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and um it was very, yeah, it's very interesting that whole scene where she gets like rejected on air and thinks she's getting proposed to and stuff. Like that's happened to me at
Yeah.
so many drag shows. Are you joking? I've had guys come to drag shows and be like, yeah, I'm so interested in you, we should date, and then they come to the show and they're making out with somebody else in the audience, bitch. So I've been there 1,000 times. So I get I that Melanie is like me like pre drag race.
Yeah, and it's actually funny because we were just talking about the last time I interviewed you, and the last time I interviewed you was about a new song, a new music video that was very much about people that like burned you along the way and after you became famous. And I think it's an interesting transition that you're now playing this character that is also kind of questioning like the motives that people have when interacting with her. And I think maybe in a weird way that had kind of a connection to each other, that you're
Totally.
dealing with these people you're not sure about.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of life. I mean,
Yeah,
people can only people are very confused. And I think people like don't people still try to like use other people's success as it like makes them hold up a mirror to themselves. But baby, when I tell you that you just gotta focus on your own shit and you'll be a-okay, that's when life is the best. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. I absolutely agree with that. And now in this movie, another connection is that you have to go back to this more countryside place. Um,
Yes. It's like going back
and
home.
deal with a smaller city than the ones that you lived in before, and now you're also doing a reality show about going into these smaller cities,
Yeah.
and that's also another connection. I don't know the schedule when you filmed things first or after, but did you bring your experience to from one project to the next project in any way?
So when I was filming this, we filmed this last year, and
Hmm.
I'm filming currently. We are here right now, and
Okay.
um, so I didn't know. I had no clue that my life was going to be on farms for the next 2 years. But it was a very like there is something about seeing drag in a space where you don't typically see drag, but that's why I love shows like We're Here, and I love shows and I love this movie because like
Right.
you need to see more of that. Like that's what's funny, that's what's campy. Like drag shouldn't just exist in one space. It should be everywhere. So I did not know what was coming. I did not know that I was going to be in the hot heat in full drag 2 years in a row, but I'm grateful for it because I love it.
In daylight, in the heat, in a small city.
Hot,
Um,
hot.
but what I really like about this movie and what I've liked about other drag-led projects in the past, when you think about, Hurricane Bianca, when you think about AJ and the Queen, I think this movie enters that canon of, this drag performer in her own vehicle and going into these smaller cities where, you have to fight your way to be accepted and embraced. And I just think you should be really proud of this movie. And I think it's a story that never gets old because a lot of queer people are still going through that. Even if they're not drag queens, they're still going through that in those smaller cities.
Totally. I mean, I think that's why this movie is so funny is because it is this idea of like we can be anywhere at any time at any place, and there's a lot of TV roles that are just like a drag queen performing at a bar. I mean, I played one in
Right.
Glamorous, like it's that same like they only exist in this space, but there's something to be said about having a drag queen just work at the office, or having a drag queen or just work here, or a trans person just work. It's like I think like that's what makes the movie funny but also important, is that like it
Correct.
takes everything what we know and it really turns it on its head of like, oh wait, so you're telling me that like this universe is also kind of the reality as well? Because like oftentimes queer people do feel very fish out of water when they do go back to their family's funeral, or when these things happen. So it does really like capture that, but in a campy, more entertaining way, so people it's more digestible for people.
Yeah, and that's the best part when, funny meets important and we
100%.
can we can capture both of those. Um, I think fans are really going to enjoy this movie. I
Me
really
too.
enjoyed
I'm excited for them
watching
to
this
see
movie.
it.
I also think your performance is very very, very good in this movie. We obviously knew you could pull it off, but it's awesome to see you pull it off and see you carry
You.
this movie. It's a
I'll
great
take it. I mean,
vehicle.
I didn't know that I could pull it off, so I'm grateful. I am
It's a
grateful.
great vehicle for you, and I think just the beginning of a lot of other projects like these.
For acting.
Um, so my last question is, what was your favorite part about working on this project?
Ooh, I would say for sure learning from all the other actors. There's a scene where Guy comes back to the farm and we're sitting on the two couches. That entire scene was improv.
Oh, wow.
And as you know, I did bad in my improv challenges on Drag Race. So it was
Yes.
nice to prove to myself that I can get better with time and I could work on the craft and I could fucking kill it. And I would say that was my most like my favorite. And all the laughs that we had, like it was such a funny fucking experience. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, I love the movie. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
this
I'm so
great
excited that you
project.
like it. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it to be out for everyone to see it. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. It's always wonderful. I always do miss talking to you.
It
So
was
it's nice to
fun.
catch up, and I hope you
Actually,
have a wonderful day.
next year we'll chat. We'll do a track by track of the album.
Oh yeah, I would love that. I would love that when the project is out. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.